Chaos.radio. Music, podcasts, entertainment.
Hello and welcome to the latest edition of NEWSWAVE, written, produced and recorded in the heart of Cornwall by the team here at Chaos Radio. I'm your host, Tom Howe, and I'll be guiding you through some of the insightful guests and exciting news content that we have enjoyed across Chaos Radio this past week. On today's show, we join Jackie Moore, Community Service Leads at Chaos at Eden, to learn how their supported work project is empowering adults with physical and emotional impairments, and to mark Learning Disability Week. We check in with Phaedra Perry, Head of Southwest and South Central at Diabetes UK, about new tools and services to help improve lives and reach underserved communities. As well as that, we take a trip to Parr Running Track to meet Emma Roberts from the Cornwall Bicycle Project, who shares how their Limitless Festival is making cycling more accessible and bringing people together in the process. If all that wasn't enough, we hear from Dom Philbin, who joined the crowd to soak up the atmosphere as Gary Barlow returned to Eden Sessions for a sellout night of singalongs and showstoppers. And we welcome Jamie Lee Zanincelli, who plays Columbia, to find out what audiences can expect as a cult musical classic, The Rocky Horror Show, heads to the Hall for Cornwall this week.
NEWSWAVE.
Now, cycling isn't just a great way to get active, it can also bring people together, boost confidence, and open up new experiences. That's the thinking behind the Limitless Festival in Parr, where people of all abilities can try out specially adapted bikes in a fun, supportive setting. Emma Roberts from the Cornwall Bicycle Project told us more about what happened on the day and why inclusive cycling is something we should all be talking about.
NEWSWAVE.
So we're here today at the second annual Limitless Festival. Tell me a little bit about what it is that's going on here today. For anybody that might have missed the build-up, it is an absolutely fantastic event here down at Parr Track. And can you just give us a flavour of what's happening here today?
Yeah, sure. So we've got a whole range of adapted trikes and bicycles for people to come and try for free. That cover, people that have learning disabilities, physical disabilities, long-term health conditions, helping people to get active, really, provide that opportunity for people that thought perhaps they couldn't be active to come and have a go and have a look and find a way that they can be active and enjoy the wonderful feeling that cycling a bike can provide. Yeah. So
tell me about the type of people that you've got here today, both trying things out, also sort of on this side as well, showing off some of their excellent kind of adapted cycles.
Yeah, well, it's been brilliant because we've got Sean here from Lightweight Mobility, and we've got Phil from Ice Trikes, and we've got Better Leisure down here who have their Beats programme. We did have the Tregoric table tennis team here as well today. So yeah, lots going on, lots of different things to try and to give activity a go.
And you've had a steady flow of sort of people coming in to try out the different options here, some which, looking at some of these cycles, might be completely new to some people trying them, others sort of maybe that they've experienced before, but there's something a little bit for everyone here, isn't there?
There really is, yeah. I mean, the drop-in session this morning, lots of people didn't really know what they were facing when they arrived, so it's like, well, we're not really sure, so it's like giving the opportunity to try a range of different bikes and trikes, to see what they like, what suits them, what makes them happy.
What I've found, if you like, from having these conversations and being at this festival last year as well, was that actually it is such a welcoming community, isn't it? The Cornwall Bicycle Project is part of this overarching wonderful community where there are going to be some difficult conversations that have to take place, and there are going to have to be some quite nervous moments, I suppose, stepping into a bike or using one of these cycles for the first time, whatever it might be, getting out of your comfort zone a little bit. But then the emotions of the people afterwards is just it's mind-blowing, isn't it, really?
Yeah, it's wonderful to see, and that's why we love doing it, because we know that sometimes often people can be quite hesitant about giving things a go, and sometimes, it's good. I mean, also this is why PAR is such a brilliant venue, because you can just sit and watch for a while, and then, in your own time decide, okay, perhaps I'd like to have a go on this one or that one. And also, because of the bikes that we have, there's always the opportunity to go round with somebody, so you're not on your own. You can ride round on the side-by-side actually with somebody, or you can ride on 2 separate bikes as you go round. So it's always a social thing, no one's ever on their own, and we have a team of wonderful staff who are really knowledgeable and very, very caring, and lots of empathy. Just really want to get people on bikes and trikes, really. So
absolutely, it was a wonderful thing to be able to be doing. What advice and different sort of options are you giving to people today, just to kind of put it into a bit of context, in terms of questions you might be able to answer, any sort of fears you might be able to allay, different adapted cycles for different kind of lifestyles and the way people are?
Yeah, so I'd say one of the common things is we don't really know how to ride a bicycle. Balance is an issue. Don't have a lot of strength in our legs. So these are when people arrive, this is what they're saying to us. And we say, well, you know what? You don't have to ride a bicycle. Come and ride a trike. And actually, they think, oh, it's not a standard sort of trike that you imagine. These are beautifully made ice trikes or tomcat trikes, and they feel absolutely wonderful to ride and so easy to ride as well. I mean, some of them have got e-assist as well, but lots of them don't, and you know what, you don't really need it, especially when you're going around this track. So that's, people often come and have hesitations, maybe a fear, but I think we have such a wonderful range here that we can soon say, well, have a go on this one and see what you think. And you know what? Have a go on it, and they come back and they're smiling and like, okay, would you like to go around again? Yes.
It's amazing. We're just seeing now, the confidence in some of the users here is wonderful. And this is just, you're very busy, aren't you, Emma? This is just part of one little project in the wider sort of Cornwall Bicycle Project. So tell me a little bit about what's coming up in 2025 and beyond for yourselves.
Wow, yeah, well, there's a lot. But I would say probably the main thing is that we have merged with another charity called Cornwall Life Recycle, and so we're able to offer provision in terms of work experience and volunteering in the workshop. So for people that are interested in mechanics and things like the mechanical side, they're working with our mechanics, fixing bikes, recycling bikes. We do a lot of that, and so we're always looking for donated bikes if anyone wants to donate a bike. And we also have children's clubs, we have a community Saturday kids club, we have a Monday night mountain bike club, and throughout the week, many people don't know this, but throughout the week we have a whole series of adult volunteers that lead rides out across St Austell, Bodmin, Penzance, soon coming to Cambourne and Redruth. And if you sign up with the Bicycle Project, you get it's a small membership, but then you get all of this. All of this is under that, and our volunteers lead some wonderful rides, and they are social, inclusive, and there's always coffee and cake.
Oh, there you go. And you're getting into the woods as well, aren't you?
Oh, yes. So supported by British Cycling and a project that they've got running with the Forestry Commission, we're taking our bicycles and trikes out of PAR, and we're going to be riding at Cardinham, not on the Bodmin Beast, just so we're clear about this, on I think it's called the Lady Vale Trail around the bottom, which is a beautiful trail, but relatively flat, very scenic, and will be a lovely social ride running. And we've got certain dates set up as pilots running between now and September.
Well, work your way up. We're talking about the trails over there. We were talking about the Paralympics earlier as well. You've got to start somewhere, haven't you? Look, take it from us. We do community events all year round, 24/7, and we can see the incredible difference that you're making to so many people as well. I hope you're feeling that as well, but I'm sure you're just at the point where you're thinking, well, that's great, but I want to be helping more people as well. So how can people find out more information about yourselves and get involved?
So on our website, and then there's a contact form through there. So if you're an organisation that have work with people that you think would benefit from cycling, or here at PAR, or have a group that want to go out cycling, whether it's with the trikes or bicycles, and then get in touch, because our bicycles are not for hire, they're for loan, and they're the loan comes with our ride leaders supporting the rides. So that means that they're accessible to everybody. That's the fundamental thing we must make for us, is about making cycling accessible for all.
NEWSWAVE.
Now, last week was Learning Disability Week, a great time to celebrate the brilliant work going on here in Cornwall to support people with learning disabilities, but also to address some of the challenges that are being faced. At Chaos at Eden, adults with physical and emotional impairments are being given a chance to build skills, confidence and community through supported work. I caught up with Jackie Moore, who leads the service, to find out what it's all about and the difference that it's making.
NEWSWAVE.
My name is Jackie Moore and I'm the service lead here at Chaos at Eden. We are a day service and sort of horticultural therapy for adults with learning disabilities and other vulnerable adults. We provide mainly horticultural services, so we grow fruit and vegetables on our 2 polytunnels and our vast veg beds out in the field. And most of the food that we make here goes to larders across Cornwall. The guys also get to take a little bit home, because obviously you've got to do all the work, you want to taste the things as well. And as part of that, during the winter we have less things to grow, so we now upcycle furniture for a charity called Hidden Help, and they provide items to go into people's homes if they've been homeless before and are being given their first home. So the guys upcycle it and learn some new skills to help them.
Brilliant, and obviously help the community at the same time. What kind of things then on a day like today, what kind of things do people get involved in day to day? What are some of the projects that they're working on at the moment, and what sort of variation of activities might they find themselves doing?
So here, obviously, lots depend on the weather, but on a beautiful day like today, we are filling up all our raised beds. Now, we have 16 raised beds in our new polytunnels, and the guys have actually made all of those. They have taken apart 50 pallets, sawn every bed of wood themselves, joined them all together with screws, and then rebuilt them all. We've been making bird boxes, bug hotels. We could be out in the field weeding, using the lawnmower, picking vegetables, making signs up for the bed, so a bit of art and craft in there as well. On rainy days we do the upcycling, so that's lots of motor skills using sandpaper, and then quite precision to paint things and make sure there's no drips and things. So there's lots of different skills needed for everyone here. We also do yoga once a month, and every week we go for a walk around the outskirts of Eden, and we do nature mindfulness, which is a time for our guys just to sit and enjoy the outside, listen to the sounds, and maybe help them relieve any stress or anxieties that they've got.
We can absolutely see the benefits of that. I'm sure you see it every day, but just for people that might not be aware, why do you think it is that gardening and hands-on projects like the different things that you're doing here are so good for people?
It gives you a chance to be outside and get fresh air and maybe think more about what you're doing. Something as simple as putting some soil into a wheelbarrow could be quite easy for you or me, but we have one gentleman who found it really difficult, and it's taken him probably 2 months to be able to pick up a spade, use 2 hands to put the soil into the wheelbarrow. So it's little things that helps build your skills and things.
No, you're absolutely right. What kind of changes then do you see in people since they start coming here?
People start to communicate more, and they make good friendships here and feel less stressed about the world. They're more open, they can communicate, because we can use different ways of communicating with people, whether that be Makaton sign language or we use pictures, and that helps people open up and become more confident in themselves.
We're talking at the start of Learning Disability Week, which is this year all about being seen and being valued as well. How do projects like this help with that?
I think because they realise that actually they're not just coming to a day service for the sake of it. They've got a job. Lots of them see this as a workplace. So they have a role in society providing fruit and veg for people who can't maybe not afford it for themselves. And also with our upcycling, they're not just painting pictures or doing something nice to put up on the wall. They're painting furniture, they're building furniture to make, again, for somebody else. So it's value to their work rather than just doing stuff for the sake of it.
And you've been involved for now a couple of years. What makes this place so special for you?
You could come in, maybe you've had a bad weekend, and you come into work maybe a bit down, and the moment you step through the door, these guys are the most caring, funny, hard-working bunch of people you have ever worked with. They will just have a laugh and fill your whole day with smiles. It's not work, it's just coming to work for fun. And anybody who steps foot through our doors and joins in with us or just comes to visit for the day can feel that laughable energy and fun that these guys bring.
What do you wish more people knew or were aware of when it comes to people with learning disabilities?
People just see the label, they don't see the people underneath, they don't see the skills and the enthusiasm and the courage and bravery that these guys go through every day, that they could bring to a workplace, that they could bring. They are really clever, intelligent, wonderful people, and they can do any job if they were given the right support to be able to do it.
That leads me on to my next question. Do you think people really understand what it's like living with a learning disability? Because there are so many different nuances in that term, isn't there? There's so many different personalities and traits and ways of living and ways of seeing things. Do you think people, the broader kind of community, have a real understanding of what it's actually like living with that? Do they get the appreciation, the support and the sort of friendship, I suppose, as well, and chances that they deserve?
I don't think a lot of people do. I think maybe that's because they haven't met anyone with a learning disability or they're scared of what they have seen. But if they got to know these people, then they're the same as you and I. They're just wired slightly differently to us. And they can offer so much to society as a whole if people just gave them a bit of a chance and a bit of an opportunity.
You've got a brilliant group here and a brilliant group of volunteers as well, and some wildlife running around. I can see a little dog out there as well, a little Chaos at Eden mascot.
Yeah, that's Scout, our therapy dog. She helps out when people are feeling a bit down and they might just need a cuddle. And also we have a young chap here who sometimes suffers from seizures, and she can help bring him back down and bring him back to reality after them. So yeah, Scout, everybody loves Scout.
At this point, is there anything else you wanted to add that you think's important for any of our listeners to hear, or anything that we might not have covered?
If anyone is interested, we do take volunteers here, so you don't have to know anything about learning disability, you don't have to know anything about gardening. We just want someone with a bit of enthusiasm, a bit of time on the hands that can come and help maybe with the woodwork, help with alongside our guys. Just get in touch.
And how can they do that? Where can people find out more information, or perhaps get in touch with you to volunteer their time? Or maybe they've got some skills that they can pass on, or maybe some furniture they want upcycled, or whatever it might be.
If they go to, you can either find us on Facebook, which is Chaos at Eden, or you can go onto the main Chaos website and you'll see a link through there where you can either email us or go through our main switchboard.
NEWSWAVE.
The world's favourite rock and roll musical is back and ready to thrill audiences in Cornwall this June. Richard O'Brien's The Rocky Horror Show is celebrating 50 years of non-stop partying, having now been seen by over 35 million theatre-goers worldwide. The musical returns to Truro Hall for Cornwall from the 23rd until the 28th of June, bringing fierce and fabulous fun, outrageous frocks, and a show-stopping soundtrack. I'm delighted to say that joining us here on Chaos to give us a taste of what to expect is Jamie Lee Zanancelli, who plays Columbia. Right, for those who haven't seen this before, Jamie Lee, or experienced it before, because it's more of an experience, isn't it? What can audiences expect from this particular production of the Rocky Horror Show?
Oh, do you know what? It's one for the senses. I always say it's rock and roll meets sci-fi meets comic book. It's just everything you can possibly imagine just merged together. It's definitely an experience.
You're playing such an iconic character as well, aren't you, in Columbia? What's it been like stepping into those sparkly tap shoes? And what do you love most about playing the role?
It's been amazing. It's been such a challenge. And I remember the film actually from my teenage years and Nell Campbell playing that role so iconically. And so just the pressures of stepping into a character that is so loved and well known. But my favourite, I just love the energy she brings to the show. Everyone has their own sort of charismatic personality they bring to the show, but she is just in her own world and very hard to sort of rattle in a way. It takes a lot for her, and you do get to see that towards the later part of the show, but I just love the energy she brings. And that round of applause, the audience go wild as soon as that tap the tap part hits in the show. That's the bit everyone's waiting for. Oh, it's really electrifying. I love it. It's so much fun.
It must be so sort of physically demanding. I wonder what's on your list of your bucket list after this. Maybe the London Marathon or Mount Everest or something like that, because you're getting all the prep in, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, cardio, the show doesn't stop. It is literally once you're on, you're on. And even just in the physicalities of the character, even if you're not sort of physically moving around, I mean, everything is physical. The dance numbers alone are mammoth. So that alone keeps me in shape. But to be honest, I can't really compare it to anything. I don't really know what's next. I'd be quite happy to park and bark for a little bit.
I don't blame you. You've been so lucky to feature in some amazing productions. Just looking through Bat Out of Hell, Tina Turner musical, Hairspray, Motown, West Side Story. That is quite an incredible list. How does Rocky Horror Show compare? You said you grew up with it as well, watching it when you were younger.
I did. It was just one of those films I just always remember it being just, there was nothing else really like it. And Richard O'Brien was so ahead of his time. I think it always sort of intrigued me. And it was something that it used to pop up on the telly. I think, yeah, I'm going to watch this again. I never really knew why. And now having been a part of the show, I can just see it just resonates with so many people. And it's very much a story about being at home with yourself and celebrating that, really. It's
resonated with the audience for more than 50 years now. That's an incredible run, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's in its 52nd year. And it shows no signs of slowing down. It's just very relevant and will continue to be, which in itself is pretty special.
What's the response been like from audiences so far?
Do you know? I mean, it's always raucous, but it depends regionally where we are. Sometimes the audience tend to be a bit more reserved and they'll sit and they'll very much just enjoy it. Other times it's been very much an immersive experience, I think, for the audience member, which is always a challenge for us as well, because we never really know what we're going to be met with. So always on my toes with this show. Always.
And I'm interested to know, have you ever performed in Cornwall before? That's where I'm speaking to you from now. Have you ever been down this far?
Do you know, I have a friend that lives close by and I'm very excited to see her. But no, I've never I'm not sure what the theatre circuit is like there. So I'm really, really excited. I love that part of the world anyway. So I'm really intrigued to see what the response will be like, and it's a beautiful place as well, so it's sort of a bonus when you're touring and you actually get to go somewhere quite beautiful. It's always a really lovely addition to touring.
Weather-wise today is terrible. You might have to pack the sunshine in with you when you come down in your suitcase. Do you get much time because you're going around so many different places, do you get much time to sort of get out and see these wonderful locations you get to play in?
We do sometimes. It depends on where we are, and we're touring. We're always having to sort of promote the show and keep everything going, keep the energy high. So we may have press calls and things like that, and high rehearsals for our wonderful company who also understudy all the leads as well. And honestly, the most phenomenally talented company. But on days like today, I have to say the weather isn't great here either. So it'll be a quiet one indoors until the show this evening.
Nice. Well, you know somebody close by, so hopefully you've got a little tour guide. Maybe you can get a little bit of time out to enjoy Cornwall. But finally, before I let you go, could you just give some advice to anybody that's not seen Rocky Horror Show, doesn't know what it's about, completely new to the whole thing? Why should they buy tickets? Why should they get involved? And what are they going to leave feeling?
You know what? Come with an open mind. Just come for a good time. If you love music, I mean, the soundtrack is amazing. The score is amazing in this production. It's really glitzy. The lighting is wonderful. There's just so many enjoyable elements to this show. And I promise you'll leave buzzing. Even if you have no clue what you've just watched, what it's about, you will absolutely, I guarantee you'll have left the theatre feeling really, really buzzy.
Amazing.
Which is what we've done our job then, haven't we? We've done it right. So, please come along. Please come and support us. It's a really, really wonderful company. So I'd love to see you there.
Great. Cornwall, can't wait to see you. We're all waiting now. Like I said, the buzz in the office. We've got a lot of sort of theatre lovers here and lovers of different musicals as well. So we've got our own sort of musical Showtime show that plays out on a Sunday. So we're going to include that interview as part of that. And I know a lot of people are very excited. And the Hall for Cornwall was a brilliant venue as well. You can have a great time yourselves too, I hope.
Yeah, it'll be wonderful. And dress up if you want to wear a sparkly top hat or stick on some heels and suspenders. Absolutely do that too. Honestly, anything goes with this show.
Amazing. Why not? Why not? Our thanks to Jamie Lee Zanincelli, who plays Columbia in the Rocky Horror Show, which is coming to Hall for Cornwall from June 23rd until the 28th. Tickets are available now from hallforcornwall.co.uk, and trust me, this is a party you don't want to miss.
NEWSWAVE.
Across Cornwall, thousands of people are living with diabetes, and with numbers still rising, making sure people can access clear, timely and inclusive support has never been more important. From peer groups and health walks to educational films in British Sign Language, Diabetes UK is working in partnership with NHS Cornwall and Isles of Scilly, as well as the local community, to ensure that no one is left behind when it comes to managing their condition. Joining us now here on Chaos Radio to talk more about this work is Phaedra Perry, Head of Southwest and South Central at Diabetes UK. Welcome to Chaos, Phaedra. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, thank you for having me on your show.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Right, to begin with, let's strip it back a little bit. Can you just give us a sense of how Diabetes UK is supporting people living with diabetes, both here in Cornwall and the wider Southwest region, please?
Absolutely. So at Diabetes UK, our vision really is a world where diabetes can do no harm. But we know at the moment that that's not the case. So really, we're here to support people who are at risk of developing type 2 diabetes, who have a diagnosis of type 1 or type 2 or many of the other types of diabetes, and we're here to support them in ways that meet their needs. What that looks like at the moment across Cornwall, we have a number of local support and community support groups. These tend to be volunteer-led. It might be something as simple as meeting up with someone for a coffee and a chat, or we have other projects with Gosmore Vale, for example, where they have a walking group sort of supporting people to get more active. They're very much ways of sort of connecting people together based on what your need might be at that moment. We also have a sort of more national offer. We have our helpline, which is there for people. We have our website with a whole wealth of information. And then on that larger scale, we're one of the largest funders of research into diabetes. So the causes, the treatments, what are the options? All really big, important questions so that we can improve the lives of people through better treatments. So we were the ones that developed the first insulin pen, for example, but also to something called immunotherapies, where we're hoping to actually even delay or prevent the onset of diabetes in the first place. So lots of different things that we offer people.
Wow, okay. We've been hearing about a wide range of local initiatives, including the things I said at the top of the interview there, peer-led support groups, health walks, educational courses. How important is it, to offer support in ways that go beyond already under pressure GP surgeries?
It's absolutely essential, because what we know is that when someone is diagnosed with diabetes, whether it's type 1 or type 2, that for many people, they feel very overwhelmed at trying to understand what that condition might be, what it means to them, why have I developed this condition, what can I do about it. You only have a very small amount of time with your GP. So most people with type 2 will be diagnosed in primary care by their GP, and you only have a tiny amount of time with that GP. All the rest of that time in your life, because it's a long-term condition, 24/7, you were trying to manage and cope with it. And many people describe it as relentless. I mean, with any condition where you're having to constantly think about, what you might be eating, your levels of exercise. For many people with type 2 diabetes now, actually, they also need to be treating it with insulin, and that brings on other sort of considerations as well. It's very overwhelming. But also we know that people don't access or learn about things in the same way. So it's really important for charities like Diabetes UK to really understand what the needs of different populations are, so that information is accessible, whether that might be information in different languages, or some people prefer to get information face-to-face, some people prefer video content, some people prefer just very easy read, some people like all the information and all the detail, or as we learned through working with Cornwall and Isles of Scilly ICB and the hearing loss community, actually what they needed was information in British Sign Language through video content.
That leads me on to my next question, this really important step, the launch of new British Sign Language educational films co-produced with local partners and members of the deaf community as well. Can you introduce us to how they came about and the impact you hope they have?
Absolutely. So the videos came about through discussion with the hearing loss community in Cornwall. So we had a series of sort of focus groups working with the hearing loss community and with Cornwall and Isles of Scilly ICB to really understand what the needs of people with hearing loss were in Cornwall. We ran regular events just to really sort of get that feedback. So at diagnosis, what is it that you're experiencing? What do you need? They shared their personal experiences and they highlighted the challenges that they were facing in accessing information at that point of diagnosis, but also a general lack of understanding around the essential diabetes health checks they should be receiving and the importance for them. So those two themes came out consistently, and that's what led us to look at what resources we currently have and to create content that was going to work for them. So we already had information, we have resources around if you're just being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and we had resources around what your diabetes essential checks were. But the hearing loss community said to us, well, actually, video content's going to really help us, but in British Sign Language, it's much more accessible, it's much more effective. It also helps support a range of literacy levels and learning preferences. It just makes it a lot easier to understand and engage with. So based on that feedback, that's why we've created these two videos to start with. And one is around if you've just been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, talking about what diabetes is, why it develops, how it might be managed. And then the other one is around those essential diabetes health checks, which are really key to reducing the chances of developing those really serious complications associated with diabetes.
Yeah, brilliant. The feedback from people with hearing loss, I can see it's really helped shape the project as well. That lived and shared experience is so important to get across. And what has the response been like from those who've seen the film so far?
It's been really positive. I mean, we involved the patient expert group, which we helped to set up in Cornwall. And for them, we know that they said that they've been asking for a long time for information which is more accessible, and for people to listen about what it is that they actually need. I know they feel that these videos are long overdue, and they're just really excited that actually they now have some resources which show the impact, that it really helps them to be able to access care in a way that works for them, and to bring sort of long overdue equality is what they have said. And I think I can completely understand that. And it's really important for us to always make sure that all information we're providing, producing, really works for all those who need it.
Yeah, it's really powerful, an incredible story, and it's great to hear that really, really positive feedback as well. But looking more broadly, we know that numbers around diabetes are rising. What are the biggest challenges facing people living with the condition today, and how are Diabetes UK responding at both a regional and a national level too?
So we know that rates of diabetes are increasing significantly, in particular those living with type 2 diabetes. So around 90% of all those with diabetes will have type 2 diabetes. In terms of the challenges that people face, it's a really complex and complicated condition. And I think sometimes people don't fully understand that. And what people often when we talk about people feeling overwhelmed at diagnosis, you can be sort of bombarded with information from people, and lots of people can try to be really helpful. Lots of people can sort of give advice on diet and exercise, but actually those things aren't so easy to tackle. A lot of it can come down to what your experiences are. So even though things such as how much access to sports facilities you might have had in your area when you were growing up, and how much your parents took part in sporting activities can really impact your own confidence in doing that. You're not suddenly going to take up joining a football team in your 40s if you've never been part of that in the first place. That's a really daunting, scary thing to do. So actually that confidence to do that can be difficult. We know through work we've done around sort of food and healthy eating that sometimes even ourselves at Diabetes UK, we've recognised that a lot of the healthy food we were talking about might not have been food that actually was common for people or even affordable. So we've done a lot of work to make sure the recipes that we provide use items that people are familiar and comfortable with and are actually affordable, because the cost of living crisis is really real for a lot of people. Food is expensive, and actually looking at ways that can support people to bring those costs down are essential. So a lot of the work we do is around trying to take some of that overwhelm away from people, to provide information and support at the right time. So this is what you could look at food-wise, then this is what you could look at to bring more exercise into your life. This is what all the medications and health appointments look like. So just really important to get that support in place at the right time.
For anyone listening who's just being diagnosed or maybe feels overwhelmed at the current moments, what advice would you give to them about where to start and where to go for help? It sounds like a really welcoming community.
Absolutely. I mean, in terms of our support groups, what you can expect there is people that they've been through all of that, and for them they're not perfect in managing their condition either. It's a long-term condition. And I think what you get is a sense of community from people who actually really understand. Many people say a challenge is perhaps their partner or their families don't really understand how difficult it is to manage it and how much you might be trying. So what you get is that sort of that community who can say, I understand that it's really difficult. And that just really means a huge amount to people. A key thing that we know is, and we're talking about it more and more, is diabetes stigma, and actually the stigma that people experience every day. And that can be as simple as, say, your partner trying to help you by changing the food that they give you, or commenting on the food that you are eating, and that sort of thing. That sort of all builds up over time and sort of contributes to people feeling a sense of shame. And what we know is that quite often people then start to avoid healthcare appointments, or start to not really talk about what's being difficult, and all that's really detrimental. And having that community around you can really help you to sort of look at that and recognise that and find ways really to manage that and those relationships around you.
And for anybody listening who's been inspired perhaps to support your work, whether that's as a volunteer or a fundraiser or maybe an advocate, how can they get involved with Diabetes UK locally?
So there's lots of different opportunities at any given time. To find out more about Diabetes UK, then you can head to Diabetes UK, our website. And then locally, we have our Southwest and South Central team who are always really willing and excited to hear from people. You can volunteer with us. That might look like setting up your own community group. It might look like supporting another community group. We're always looking for people who are willing to talk about their own experiences, or they might be happy to give talks, sort of thank you talks when people raise money for us. A really important way to support us is through fundraising. Really, really key. We have lots of different events people can get involved with. One that's coming up starting in July is our 1 million steps challenge. So that's 10,000 steps a day from July right through to the end of September. Fantastic, a way to get fitter and more active. And Cornwall, what a beautiful part of the world to be taking part in that challenge as well. So lots of different events, and also ones to suit different abilities as well, because not everyone can walk 10,000 steps a day. It is quite a challenge, but we have different variety of things to work for people. So the best thing to do is to sort of visit our website, diabetes.org.uk, and have a look and see what fits best for you.
And as part of those resources, all of your helpful detail that you've got there, is that the best place to find these new British Sign Language film series as well?
Yes, so head to our website. The videos will be available there. They'll also be available on the Cornwall ICB and the Trust's websites as well.
Thank you to Phaedra Perry from Diabetes UK for joining us here on Chaos. If you'd like to find out more about their support services, including the new British Sign Language films, support groups, or how to get involved, just head to diabetes.org.uk. And don't forget, if you missed any parts of today's interview or would like to listen back, you can do just that via the catch-up section at chaos.radio.
NEWSWAVE.
Right, I'm Tom Howe and you're listening to NEWSWAVE here on Chaos Radio. Now, thousands of fans packed into the Eden Project for a night of hits, harmonies and high energy as Gary Barlow made his big return to the biomes last week. With Beverly Knight kicking things off in some serious style, it was always going to be a special night. We sent Dom Philbin along to soak up the atmosphere and chat to some of the crowds on the second night of Eden Sessions 2025.
NEWSWAVE.
Hi, I'm Dom Philbin and I'm here at the Eden Sessions reporting for Chaos Radio on an absolutely glorious day. There's not a cloud in the sky. The crowds are gathering now to see Gary Barlow. Yes, he's here, right here in St Austell. From what I can see, looking down at the crowd, there's some beautiful sequin jackets, there's Take That t-shirts everywhere, and there's what I can only describe as the most civilised mosh pit for any outside gig I've ever seen. So what I'm going to do right now is head out there, and I'm going to talk to some of these lovely people. And I've got two lovely people in front of me who are going to introduce themselves right now.
Hello, my name's Hollis, I'm from Redruth.
Hello, I'm Charlie, I'm from Redruth.
Awesome, and are you both absolutely massive Gary Barlow fans?
Robbie.
I'm definitely Gary, yeah, not like the wife.
Yeah.
Team Gary and Team Robbie.
Team Robbie, yeah. I'm here because I was promised he might be here.
Well, you never know, do you?
Never know. No, I am a Gary fan as well, but yeah, Hollis is the mega Gary fan.
And have you seen Gary Barlow before live on his own or even with Take That?
Yeah, so we saw him at the Hall for Cornwall, and was that last year?
It's like his theatre tour,
Yeah.
but it's the first time we hear him properly singing for a gig, so yeah, really excited.
Are there any particular songs that you're looking forward to hearing that he's hopefully going to perform for you tonight?
We just want the old bangers,
The old bangers such as?
oh God.
Oh no, I've not put you on the spot there, have I?
On the Million Love Songs, that's my favourite, yeah.
Million Love Songs, that was my my wedding song, me and my wife, yeah.
Oh, so you're a big Gary fan as well then?
That's why I've got this gig.
Oh yeah, nice, I like it.
Absolutely, yeah. And is there any other bands that you'd like to see here at the Eden Sessions in the future?
Oh yeah. Well, I think Alanis was here and I missed that, so I'm a bit gutted about that. So I'm hoping she's going to come back again. How about you?
I don't know, I saw the Doves here many years ago, they were awesome. But anyone really, it's nice to get a bit of a range down here.
Well, I was thinking about asking Gary,
Yeah, no.
if you can ask Gary if he can actually come down again next year, but rather than doing it solo, do it as Take That and see if he can bring the boys down with him. What do you think of that?
Oh yeah, no, that would be amazing. Yeah, we thought old Mark might be out tonight.
Well, again, keep an eye out, you never know down here.
He's a little bit short, so we have to keep our eye out pretty good, eh?
Well, you know why, he looks up to Gary, doesn't he?
Yeah. But as someone else we'd love to see here would be Charlie Tuna
Charlie Tuna, I don't think, who's that?
from Jurassic 5.
Jurassic 5, again.
Oh, check him out. But they were in Scoria performing a couple of years ago, But yeah, if we could get Charlie Tuna down, that would be a really good night.
Charlie Tune. Okay, if I see Sir Tim around, I'll ask him to stick it on his bucket list, and we'll see if we can get that organised for you.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Have you tried any of Gary Barlow's wines?
No.
Yeah, she has actually.
Oh, they were that good you can't remember?
Oh yeah, it must have been amazing. Yeah.
So, when was that then?
Oh, it must have been about a year ago. I was going down the supermarket.
Wedding night.
Wedding night.
That's why you can't remember. Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah, no, saw her in the supermarket and I thought, well, there's only one bottle of wine coming home tonight.
Yeah, okay. Well, Robbie Williams doesn't do his own wine, does he? So.
No, so, I will be buying that if Robbie does his own wine. So.
Okay, so again, I'll pass that on. What happens, do you think that any of the other Take That guys have got a bit of a sideline apart from the wines?
Well, I don't know. Do you know?
Well, I think Howard could have his own fast food chain.
Yeah.
Just call it Donald's.
Oh, yeah,
that's clever. Good one. Jason Orange, he could sell fruit.
He could sell fruit. You've really thought about these, haven't you?
I'm just thinking this off the top of my head. I'm just thinking one for Mark Owen. Mark Owen, he could get into finance with personal loans.
Oh, love it. Yeah.
To get it, Owen?
Yeah, I just need a little bell right now.
I thank you.
So if I wasn't holding 2 cups, I'd clap.
Thank you very much. Anyway, have a fantastic evening. It looks like it's going to be great. The weather's holding out for us all.
Have a great time, won't you?
Oh, we definitely will. Thank you very much for talking to Chaos Radio. It's been great to meet you.
Lovely to meet you. Take care.
Okay, so I'm here at the Gary Barlow gig at the Eden Sessions, and I've got two lovely ladies here in lovely sparkly hats who are going to introduce themselves and tell us where they're from.
Hi, my name's Paul and I'm from Doncaster, which is in South Yorkshire.
Hi, my name's Andrea and I'm from Cornwall, 5 minutes away, and this is my idea of a very, very good day out.
Yes, I can see that on your t-shirts. So I take it you're both absolutely massive Gary Barlow fans, yeah?
100%, but also Take That.
Absolutely.
And you've come all the way down from Doncaster. How come you're not seeing him in Sheffield?
So basically, I'm married. I usually go with my friend Tom. Tom didn't want to see Gary alone because we see Take That. So I asked my husband, I said, oh babe, will you see Gary with me in Sheffield? He said no. He went, I'm sure you can find someone to go with. So my friend Suzanne that lives in Cornwall was like, well, come here. So I was like, okay. So then I said to my husband, oh babe, I'm going to see Gary, but in Cornwall, so I've came here for a week.
For a whole week with your friend here.
And the weather's been gorgeous, yes. And
we've actually only met today. Yeah. She's not
really?
Suzanne.
Oh, so you've only just met today. Are you showing a really good time?
We're having a fantastic time. The weather is absolutely gorgeous. The atmosphere is amazing. Gary is like my absolute idol. He has been on my wall in my bedroom since the age of 13. So I'm really happy to be here and so glad that we're positioned so close to the front of the stage because I will get to see every single inch of him.
Is there any particular tracks that you're hoping Gary's going to perform for you this evening?
Oh, Greatest Day, absolutely. Yeah, that was my wedding song. Me and my husband danced to that. Greatest Day, oh, what a track. Yeah, absolutely.
My wedding song was A Million Love Songs.
Oh, fantastic.
So I'm looking forward to that one.
Brilliant.
And yourself?
I'm actually opening for Open Road.
Open Road. Well, I have seen the set list and I think you might actually be opening with that track.
Open Road's like this?
Quite possibly, yeah.
It's such a good tune, it's amazing.
It is, it's some absolutely fantastic songs. Are there any other bands that you would like to see here at the Eden Sessions?
Oh, well, I mean, he's not a band, he's a solo artist, but obviously the big Robbie Williams, Take That have been obviously my idols because of Gary, etc. So Take That, Robbie, absolutely, 100% it would be sell-out. Amazing night.
Well, thank you for speaking to us.
And you literally have made our day today.
Well, that's very kind of you to say so.
Lovely couple of lads.
I'm going to have that as a tag on my show. Thank you very much. Have a great evening, girls, and I'll catch you later.
Thanks ever so much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Stephen and Elaine, are you massive Gary Barlow fans?
Yeah, we like his music. We
liked his stage show.
Absolutely, yeah.
And you've seen Gary Barlow before?
Yes.
We have. We saw the stage show in Truro, Hall for Cornwall, and really good, really good.
And what's your favourite Gary Barlow track?
See, do you know, I've got so many, so I'm going to just say I love his music. End of story.
He is an exceptional songwriter, isn't he?
Yes. Yeah, and that's the thing. Yeah. The songwriting that he produces is fantastic. It covers all ages.
Yeah, actually, that's one of the things you just mentioned earlier, that the range of the people here today is quite eclectic, isn't it?
There is. I always expect a lot more younger people here because of the Take That sort of add-on. However, great. It's a great crowd here, varied ages, a lot of older people.
Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us where you're from?
My name's Sasha and I'm from St Agnes.
I'm Chelsea, I'm from Truro.
I'm Karen from Truro.
Looking at your T-shirts, these are awesome. I believe you made them yourself.
I did, yes.
So how do you do that?
Yeah, I do it as a business, so I have my own business based in Truro.
Oh, and what's the name of this business?
Craft Shed Creations.
Right, well, give us a twirl. Let's have a look at it. Oh, it says Gary Barlow, Eden Project, 18/6/2025. Wow, that looks absolutely awesome. So you're all geared up for it.
Yeah.
And so is there any songs that you particularly want to hear this evening?
Open Road, that'd be a good one to hear.
Open Road, I believe that is on the set list. I've had a quick check. And yourself, what do you like?
I like to try and rotate that, hopefully. Yeah.
You could do that one, yeah. So, well, that's brilliant. So thank you very much for speaking to Chaos Radio and enjoy the evening.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
NEWSWAVE.
Okay, that's all we've got time for on this week's edition of NEWSWAVE. A big Chaos Radio thank you to Jackie Moore, Community Service Lead at Chaos at Eden, to Phaedra Perry, Head of Southwest and South Central at Diabetes UK, to Emma Roberts from the Cornwall Bicycle Project, to everyone that joined us at the latest Eden session, featuring the one and only Gary Barlow and, of course, Beverly Knight too, as well as to Jamie Lee Zanincelli, who's playing Columbia in this week's production of the Rocky Horror Show at the Hall for Cornwall. And as ever, a final thank you to you for listening and helping support local journalism to thrive. To catch up on all our coverage, as well as to check out our extensive back catalogue of interviews and shows, head on over to chaos.radio and click Catch Up. Now remember, if you have a local news story that you'd like to share with us, do email news@chaos.radio or search Chaos Radio UK across socials. We would absolutely love to hear from you. That's it then, you're up to date here on Chaos. I'm Tom Howe, thank you so much for listening. Whatever you do, keep it chaos.
NEWSWAVE.
Chaos.radio. Music, podcasts, entertainment.